I saved up for nearly a year to buy a new camera. Here are some of my first shots with it. Looking back at all of this footage, there are definitely some shots that I'm super fond of, especially, the first one and last one, some showing like the really nice red leaves in the trees. Other shots I'm not so crazy about, but that's completely fine because all in all, this whole journey with videoing stuff is just a learning experience. In fact, the day before I got this footage, I'd actually gone out and shot this whole other batch of footage, but I was not even able to access it on my computer because the footage was set to like way too high settings and my computer just couldn't run it. So I learned from that, and then I went out the next day and I got this footage, the footage that I just showed you. One thing I did notice about this footage was that it was pretty shaky. I was shooting handheld, and by handheld I mean like literally just holding the camera, not some sort of like handheld rig, but I do want to learn kind of how to combat that going forward, so maybe I'll invest in some sort of handheld rig. I don't know if I'd, buy a gimbal right away, but yeah, I am more of a handheld style guy, so we'll see how I can fix that, One of the big reasons that I wanted to get a new camera was because the camera that I was shooting on previously, which was the Canon EOS A7Cii, was not capable of shooting log footage, which was something that I really wanted to try out. I really wanted to improve my color grading skills and figure out how to shoot log and everything related to that. And so obviously that was a big draw when choosing a new camera to buy. And in the end, I chose this camera that I shot on. It was the Sony A7Cii II. I'd gone back and forth over the past year of saving up about which camera did I want to buy. It started with the A7 III, which was the camera that my roommate at NYU used, and we shot some stuff on it, and he made some absolute banger videos with that. I will link his YouTube channel down below. And then it sort of just varied from there. There was a time where I was even looking into Fujifilm, because obviously I wasn't just looking for video specs, I wanted some photography specs, and I was wondering, as a film shooter, I was wondering what camera would give me the best experience shooting photos and videos. And ultimately, after considering things like, specs, size especially, just a bunch of different things, I eventually landed on the Sony A7C II. Yeah, that's what the footage was shot on, the footage I just showed you. Yeah, so the footage I showed you was from a day where I'd gone to grab lunch with one of my old high school friends who was visiting from university. You could see her in the phone booth. Her name's Bear. And I just shot some stuff along the way at one of the parks here in downtown Tokyo. I am excited to use this camera in the future, whether that is for vlogs or photography or any, more professional short films I make, especially for my college applications. So I'm excited to, learn the ins and outs of this camera as well as the ins and outs of videography in general and filmmaking. And I'm excited to have you along for the journey. So I hope you enjoyed this little preview of the footage that I got, and I hope that you stick around, I guess. So, yes, thank you very much for joining.
とかそういうこと取り組みもしてて、でやっぱそういうのはいいと思ってて。
そうですね、はい、なんか別に ね、どうしてもなんか聞いても変わらないこともありますので、ね、それはしょうがないし、だ
So I'm recording. It doesn't, we can cut it however we want.
Hello.
Hello. How do we know each other?
So, hello. My name is Bear, and I know Joe from high school. I graduated like year of 2021, but I know Joe from doing directing from One Acts. What are One Acts? One Acts are short plays written, produced, and directed by students for students. It's like a pretty conclusive way to shorten it up, right?
Yeah.
So I directed a show called Disaster on a Plate. It was a French comedy written by a student from high school. Yeah, so me and Joe got to know each other because he was also directing a show called...
What was it called? Mind Your Distance.
Mind Your Distance, that's right.
Yeah, so a fellow student of ours wrote the show and submitted it to the One Acts, and then I chose it, or we each kind of chose our own little projects.
Yeah, we got to vote on which projects we wanted to do, and this was being hosted by one of our theater teachers. So we got to like do first pick, second pick, and third pick, and then get divvied up. Similar process for like the casting and everything, but in general, we both, and another director, Emma.
Yeah, and Mari.
As well. We all were doing directing for the One Acts, and I think we just all bonded because, you know, going through similar experiences, like being a director versus being a cast member is such a different experience.
Yeah.
You know, people management is a skill, is very much a skill, and I think it was like some of our first times experiencing that.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, I think for me, it was like my third time doing One Acts. Being involved in it, though, not being a director. This is like my first time being a director. And I was in senior year, and you were in junior year.
Yeah, it was my junior year. It was the first year where I had moved to Japan. And I'd done some theater stuff here and there. You know, theater was pretty fun. And then I thought I'd give a hand at trying to direct a little show. Yeah, the One Acts was like a nice kind of smaller scale opportunity to do my first directing gig. Yeah. So, yeah, no, it was a fun experience.
I think we did pretty good.
We did okay. For the situation at hand.
True, because not only was it our first time directing, it was also during COVID. Or post-COVID. It was 2021, and it was very difficult, I think, just because the added layer of not just organizing this whole thing and planning our scenes, reading the script and all this stuff. It was also just dealing with the masks.
Oh yeah.
Right? That was like a whole different thing, because they were giving us these shitty I don't even know how to describe it. They were like these weird clear masks that had like a window in the middle.
Yeah.
They're pretty weird.
Yeah.
I didn't like them.
A lot of interesting sort of roadblocks to overcome. But I think we did a good job.
Yeah, we did a really good job.
We did a good job.
Yeah, I really enjoyed. I think if I wasn't doing, like, normally I like doing serious stuff with my plays. So if I didn't choose Disaster on a Plate, I'd probably be choosing your show.
Yeah.
Because I just kind of connected with the story. I liked the characters, and there was like, the dystopian aspect to it that I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, wait, but I remember we had to vote on shows.
Yeah.
Wasn't it you? Didn't we talk and say like, we're like, what show do you want to do? What show are you trying out for?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad, homie.
No, dude.
I stole that from you.
I stole the comedy one from you guys. I know Mari and like so many other people wanted to do that one.
Yeah.
And I was just like, but it's my senior year. It, like, genuinely, theater teacher was like, I'm gonna give it to you because you have seniority.
Okay. That's fair.
That's how that played out. My bad.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't know. I'm happy with how they turned out. I think we did a good job.
Yeah.
Fun community.
It was just a fun experience. Very unique experience, I think. Looking back, I kind of took it for granted in some aspects. Like, I did, and I took my job seriously, like all of us did. But there are definitely times where I think we just all kind of forgot and got frustrated with the process a little bit more than we should have.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of from experience of dealing with, like, my cast members, which love them. If you guys end up seeing this video, love you guys. But y'all were a rough batch to deal with sometimes. Not gonna lie. But, love, hate, they were great. And we made a great show. And I kind of took for granted the time that we had to really, like, experience and just, like, take a moment and be like, we're actually making a show past a pandemic in this crazy short time with like little to no help. Because again, this is all student-led, except for like the things that theater teacher did, and also like
assistant producer homie. He was like like assistant producer.
Yeah,
sorta.
He was great.
Yeah, I love him.
But yeah, this like kind of like looking back, it's definitely one of my fondest memories. Anyway, so circling back to why we're going into this is recently, so past graduating high school and then Joe graduating, I went off to London to study props and theater, so 3D effects for performance and fashion in London College of Fashion, represent, I guess. And coming back to Japan for like the holidays, you know, I kind of got nostalgic. I was looking through Discord, clearing out old servers that I wasn't a part of, and then I suddenly stumbled across our group chat from like way back when. And that's when I had like this kind of thought of like, oh, I should kind of like go down memory lane, and really started to appreciate the community that we made, like just like the chats that we had. They're really wholesome. They're just really fun. Yeah. No,
it was great. Like just like one afternoon, suddenly getting a random message on like one of our old group chats.
Yeah.
It was like a good trip through memory lane.
Yeah.
Also, this helicopter is not leaving.
Dude, this heli just wants to stay.
It's like just circling the park.
I don't know what it's here for. I feel like there's something going on that we don't know about.
Is there a criminal on the loose in this park?
You know, that's a thing I would believe in like London and New York, but not so much in Japan.
Is that Tokyo Tower?
No, I think that might... Is it?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I just saw lights in the...
I do see... I
don't... Anyway.
I really don't know. So, where were we? Oh, yeah. So I sent out a message. What happened was I decided, you know what? I'm going to send a message to the group chat and see how everyone's doing. I didn't really expect a response. I just kind of like shot it out into the world. I was like, regardless of what happens and what returns back to me, I just wanted to like show my gratitude.
Yeah. So it was good to hear from you and Emma. It was, just good memories.
Yeah, good vibes.
Good nostalgia.
Good nostalgia.
Yeah. Now what? Well, actually... So I'm on my gap year, and Bear's back for the holidays.
Yep.
It's so, always good to grab lunch with an old friend, right?
Yeah, it's real fun. Yes, it's very fun. But yeah, no. It was really, really fun, and I don't know, it was just like good vibes. Two artists looking at the world. God damn this belly.
So annoying. It's like louder than all of
Oh my god, dude, the sound file's peaking.
It's like stopping.
Joe, are you not telling me something?
Just like run.
I lied. I didn't. I was the one. Shenanigans aside. So I'm back for the break. Yeah. And it's been a very interesting experience to be back. There's something that I don't think a lot of people talk about. I feel like what I would categorize it as reverse culture shock. It's when you experience culture shock in a different country that you're not associated with, right? Like, I used to live in Japan my whole life, and then I went to London, and then that was its own experience. And then coming back is like it's like a reverse culture shock of getting used to London etiquette, London manners, London culture, and then coming back here to Japan. It's just such a reawakening as well as like relearning everything.
Yeah.
And we were just like, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, people are so quiet here in Japan. It's also just, man, Japan's just really pretty. Like, you just kind of forget. It's very pretty.
Real.
And yeah, me and Joe today were just like walking around, and it was just real fun.
Grab some good food.
Oh yeah.
Big
W.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
I swear it. I feel like I'm going to turn on the news, and there better be something on.
Yeah. Now there's this like, every time I make one of these videos, there's always like a loud vehicle nearby. It's like an inside joke.
It wouldn't be a Joe vlog if there wasn't one.
Yeah. Well, that's all. Thank you.
If you guys are interested in 3D props and craft making, check out Salty Bear Studios at youtube.com. Link in the description.
Fire.
There are no videos on there currently, but there will be at some point. Maybe. All right.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you. That's sick.